This is Making Moves, and we're 50,000 Rand to invest in a business. 10 entrepreneurs will come face to face with our panel of judges to pitch for this investment.
I'm not convinced on where you're wanting to spend the money.
Your business could be in line to win this grand prize and our Money in the Bank series. Your business could be operating from home, the streets, or at a fancy office, normally from a bicycle. Oksalayo, we are looking for you. Only 4 entrepreneurs will make it to the final episode to pitch for their investment. Watch Making Moves every Monday, 2 p.m. on SABC 1, Mzansi for sure.
Welcome back to Making Moves. You look very nervous.
I am.
The 4 minutes starts now.
We are all over South Africa and we can give them at cost price.
Mine's more of a comment than a question. You need to know your numbers when you're pitching for investment.
Yeah.
Would you put in your own money?
I would need more convincing.
This is the moment of truth. I'm going to deliver the news.
Siyanda isibalo sabesimame abantsundu lapha ekhaya abangasihambisela nendumo ezulu emhlaba wonke uma ngabe kukhulunywa ngezinwele. Uphindile yena ke ozibonela ukuthi angazakhela ke amadlela alihlaza kona lo mkhakha lo. Usungulele elakhe ibusiness. Kuthiwa ke lenkundla lena inomthelela obalelwa ku3 billion lapha ekhaya. Ngiyasho ke lo ukuthi lentokazi lena isemkhakheni okahle kakhulu.
Hi, my name is Phindi Mtyingizane and I am the founder and owner of O'natural Wigs. We make natural looking wigs. What makes us unique is that we make our natural wigs look like your own natural hair. If you'd like to contact us, you can find us at Instagram at O'natural Wigs and Facebook at O'natural Wigs.
Today it's all about all natural hair. Ngizobe sichitha usuku nentokazi ke base lapha eReport eWest Rand ethi ke yena yenza ke izinwele the natural way. Into engifuna ukuyazi kabanzi ukuthi ke kungani yena athi izinwele zakhe zehlukile kunalezi ezidayiswayo lapha ke ekhaya. Futhi nokuthi umenza lezi inwele zakhe uzenza kanjani kumthatha isikhathi esingakanani. Ake sichithe usuku naye and learn a bit more about her business. I'd like to find out what sparked the idea ukuthi wena uzungulele leli business lakho elisebenza ngale nwele.
Then a bit frustrated with my hair and then did research on internet on how to take care of my hair. And then I stumbled upon abantu abenza wigs zabo and taking care of their hair. And then that decided ba manzenzele yami. And then I went and bought materials ozenzela ndayenza and then ndayinxiba, took a picture and then I posted on social media. The amount of feedback I got on where did you get the wig, can I also get it, and that's when I created my O'natural Wigs page.
Yes, sir.
Daba director corner, and then they started following me, and then the fagane number yam, and then they started ordering, and that's how the business started.
Sicela ukuthi ungichazele kabanzi nge-product range yakho yenwele onazo ukuthi khuluma ngenwele ezinjani la.
Okay, well, dinenwele is different in terms of size and texture. I have very big hair, and then I have smaller hair, and then I have for abantu abadala who also want to unxiba a wig natural. So this is the one I'm wearing is one of them. I'm actually wearing a wig here, and it's one of the big wigs and one of the most popular wigs that I've just introduced. And then I have a small one here. You can have a feel now.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the small wigs that I have.
Is it male or females?
Well, it's females now. I'm not. Oh my goodness. No, if I get wrong.
Maybe
we'll start a new range now, and you'll be the face.
Okay, I'm always up to make my moves as well.
Okay, maybe not.
So maybe not.
Maybe not.
It doesn't suit me. So it's okay. It's okay for ladies.
It's okay for ladies, yes, but not for male from now on. Yeah.
Okay. So your clientele is mainly ladies.
Mainly ladies.
Abantu abadala or abantu abancane?
Abantwana from your students, abantu abadala abasebenzayo, like my age, from 18 to, I think my oldest client actually is Winnie Mandela. Welcome, Sia. This is where we do all of the work in this small room.
Yeah.
As you can see, Mthata is busy with one of our wigs now.
So iqala inje inethi.
Yes, iqala inethi inje, and then sibeke kwi mannequin head, and then we tie it because zinkulu.
Yeah.
We tie it a little bit and then we cut upper phezulu.
Yeah.
And then get athatha inwele zakhe with a bobby pin. Afake kanje until inhloko yonke.
Iqala kumalini ke i-weekly uqala eyakho mhlambe ke shipile sathi malini?
Okay, a cheap, it's about 600.
600.
Which is the one I showed you earlier, this one.
So 600 rand.
600 rand lena.
Okay, that's the cheapest one.
That's the cheapest one. And then the most expensive one is this one.
Yeah.
Which is 800 rand. And then we also do make braid wigs, like twist and all of those wigs. Zona ziqala ku 1.1 to 1.3.
Oh, so kuyahluka ngokuthi i-wig enjani lo muntu
I-wig enjani le ayifunayo.
Ngicela ukusebenza lana O'natural Wigs 2016. Lana ngenza ama-wigs together with Phindi noNhlanhla. And if Phindi is not available, uyangithuma to go and courier ama-wigs, or if ayekho lana at the moment and i-client iyeza, then I ngizothengisela i-client i-wig.
I found out about O'Naturals from social media. As you know, social media is a huge marketing tool right now. I loved her amazing hair, and that's how I got my hair. Oh, so natural. I mean, it looks real. That's great. People always, when I take it off, people are like, what happened to your hair? Your hair is so long. Like, it's a wig. It looks real. I love that. I love that she offers aftercare for the hair, so my hair stays looking amazing. And also, you know, it's black business, supporting a fellow sister out. Those are the things that drew me to the hair.
Your vision is to be in retail outlets. That brings up one or two things for me. Firstly, the wigs are quite big. How would they be stored in a retail outlet?
Raised by both parents in Mthata in the Eastern Cape, Phindi had to quickly adapt to change when her father walked out on their family. That experience has only made her strong. Namhlanje, le ntokazi lena ingumama womuzi, unezingane ezimbili, futhi usenalo uthando empilweni yakhe nasenhlizweni yakhe.
Family is very important to me. I love my babies. I'd do anything for my kids. I remember last week, they called me, Eskol and Skapoy, saying he's not well. I didn't even think twice. Got into the car and I fetched him, and when I got there, he was all sad and whatnot. Took him, we went to go buy medicine. I gave him his medicine and he slept. And as for my daughter, like you can't tell me anything about my kids.
You can do whatever you want to her, but do not touch your kids. She loves the kids more than anything else. And that is what a mother's supposed to be.
She's a loving mother. She cares very much for her kids. She wants nothing but the best for her kids, I think, like with any other mother.
My husband, he used to watch me efestile. I would go up and down the street and he would watch me because he used to stay up at Joburg and he would go home to go visit his sisters and his dad.
What attracted me to Phindi, I think more than anything else, it was a sense of being a natural.
I do remember my mom not being too happy with the relationship because my mom didn't like the idea of boys around. So apparently he would send his cousin to come to our house to pretend that he's buying something.
I knew the cousin, so for me it was a sign, but okay, we are busy. So the cousin would come asking for a paraffin, paraffin. I was like, no, we don't sell paraffin.
My mom, obviously, you know, not being that gullible, knew what it was for, and he would chase the cousin away. So they had to sneak around, you know, go to little corners and yada and all of those kind of stuff. But yeah, and then it was like any other teenage relationship.
What attracted me to him was his baggy jeans and his afro dreadlocks. That time he was skinny, not now. He was looking like a hip-hop dude kind of, so I was like, okay. I grew up in Mthata, a small town in the Eastern Cape, with two of my sisters and my mom. And I did my schooling that side up until grade 12. And then after that, I went to Durban, where I did architectural technology at the university.
Okay, growing up with Phindi in the same household, we're 5 years apart, sorry. She was very extravagant and very out there. She was popular at school. She was very crafty with her hands, to plaiting her own hair, to creating her own outfits, and even designing her own jewelry. So she was a creative person from childhood.
I need to gather myself, I can't. Can I get something to wipe myself? My saddest memory would be when I lost my cousin, who was more of a brother to me. He was involved in an accident. He was going to the airport to come to Joburg for a job interview.
That was probably one of the greatest losses she has ever suffered. Even though it happened a couple of years ago, that is still affecting her till today.
I honored him by getting a tattoo. It was my older sister's idea that we all get tattoos of him. This is the tattoo I got, my one and only tattoo with his name, Sansiwe. And I felt that for me to be able to carry on his name or his memory was to name one of my kids after him. My future plans for my family is that we are able to continue this and it becomes a legacy for my kids. I would love for them to continue what we have started, myself and their dad, and that they understand where the hard work and everything comes from.
With the African industry growing at a rapid pace, ibhizinisi lakhe uphindile i-O'natural Wigs lona-ke liyasho ukuthi lisenkundleni enhle kakhulu. Kodwa ngaphambi kokuthi leli bhizinisi likhule, komele yena-ke azi ukuthi yiziphi-ke izinto ezingamvimba ukuze leli bhizinisi lingakhuli.
Hi, I've just arrived at the Making Moves Studios. I am here to speak to Pepsi about the business, and he's going to coach me a little bit of how I can grow my business and take it to another level. Let's go inside.
O'Natural Wigs caters to a growing lucrative market of ladies who want to wear their hair natural. The growing trend also means more entrepreneurs are tapping into the space, creating fierce competition. This means Phindi has to work creatively to stay ahead of the curve, and that's why she's here today. Phindi, welcome to Making Moves.
Thank you for having me.
How are
Nice
you?
to meet you. Good, thank you.
Fantastic. Take a seat. Okay, so the business transitioned from a hobby into a business. So you kind of fell into it by accident.
Yes.
How did you manage that transition?
It was quite easy because it was something that I loved doing, and when people started asking about it and making orders and stuff, it was easy for me to carry on as a business and making the wigs.
Okay, there are a few things that worry me about that transition. The first one, for instance, is you still run a lot of personal expenses through the business.
Yeah.
I also don't see a regular monthly salary that you pay yourself through the business. What's that about?
I think I became comfortable in the fact that I can use the money whenever I want to, and I feel that I need to separate myself from having to use the business money and personal. Therefore, I need to pay myself a salary, and then the business can run accordingly.
What's your vision for the business? Do you want to see it grow? And how big do you want to see it grow? Because often we glorify growth and say, I want to grow the business. But it's not necessarily, if you're happy with the business the way it is, and you want to use it as a job, because some businesses are really, we're creating a job for ourselves, then it's okay to run your expenses through the business, run it as a one-man show. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you've got growth aspirations and you want to turn it into a business that can survive you, whether you're there or not, then you have to start thinking a little bit differently about it.
Yeah.
So what is your vision for the business?
I mean, I want the business to grow and separate my personal stuff from the business, because I see a lot of potential, because what we do now is a movement in terms of a lot of black women want to embrace themselves, and what we do is we help them be able to embrace their beauty and be able to be African by wearing a wig, a natural wig, instead of wearing your Brazilians and stuff. So I believe that I believe in growth, and because we are a movement and we're helping a lot of women out there to be able to feel comfortable in their own skin.
Okay, so what are you doing to achieve that vision? In fact, before I ask you what you're doing to achieve that vision, let's deal with what that vision looks like. So you say you want to grow. Grow into what?
Grow into an empire. Like,
what does that look like?
It looks like where I have a business and people are able to come into our business and try on our wigs and feel confident in wearing the wigs and be able to get the wigs wherever they go. Because now I'm still working from home, and a lot of my clients, when they inquire, they ask where's your shop, where can we go and buy and stuff. So I feel if we grow and we have wigs in certain retail shops, then an ordinary person who's not on social media, because most of my sales are on social media, then they'll be able to just go into the shop and buy, and then that would obviously make the company grow and be a bigger company. What
are you doing to achieve all of this? It's a big vision. It sounds like it's possible, but what are you doing to achieve all of this?
I've been in talks with one of the retail stores, but knowing big retail stores, they'll give you the runaround, so I'm still trying to get my foot into that. And we're also in talks with one of our biggest clients, who's a well-known personality in South Africa and Africa, to do a collaboration with her so that she'll be the face of that collaboration, and hopefully that will help with the sales.
I like that. I think, again, the celebrity endorsement, great when it's used correctly, but should you want to do it, contracts should be in place, and it should be a proper transaction, not that people feel that they're doing you a favor. Without being insensitive, do you think that there is a market with cancer survivors? And you know, I suppose people going through chemo, etc., etc. Is there a market for the wigs in that context?
Yes, there is, because one of our biggest clients is a cancer survivor. So for her to be able to wear the wigs and post and tag us, I feel it makes the other next person who's also a cancer survivor, trust us to be able to wig them as well. And also women with hair loss problems, they also are able to wear the wigs because they trust us enough because of that particular person.
Okay, is there an opportunity to maybe partner with oncologists and that kind of
I would
thing,
love
where
to.
you tap into the doctor network as one of the ways to get your product to black women specifically that are cancer survivors or that are going through treatment?
Yes, I would love to do that. I actually thought of a way of getting into it, but like I'm still juggling or working around it, not to be come across as someone who just wants to make money, but just to be helpful as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to send you off for a coaching session, hopefully to give you additional insights into the business and to build a solid plan. I feel like you've got the right ideas, but you need like a step-by-step plan that is actually measurable. With all the increasing competition in the hair business, remaining comfortable in a small working space with just 2 part-time employees is not going to help Phindi at all. A session with one of our experienced business coaches might help her to start thinking even bigger about her business and help her develop a plan to get her from where she is now to where she wants to be.
My interview with Pepsi went very well. He pointed out a lot of mistakes and points where I need to grow and improve the business, so it was very helpful.
Oftentimes when businesses are born out of passion, there is a lack of business acumen that comes with it.
Given the right strategy, O'Natural Wigs is exactly the type of business that can easily double its reach. Ngosizo luka Asanda, uphindile nebhizinisi lakhe, bona ke bangazibona sebendlondlobala befike esigabeni esihle kakhulu.
Oftentimes when businesses are born out of passion, there is a lack of business acumen that comes with it. And it happens, we see it all the time, where someone is good at a trade and they really excel at doing it, but then they tend to neglect the other side, which then makes it a business. So from our sessions, having spoken about the lack of business systems, what needs to happen, can you just reflect on some of the things you need to start doing where systems are concerned to move O'Natural Wigs from passion to a business?
I think for me to be able to move O'Natural from a passion to a business is I need someone who's going to help me where I'm lacking, which is the admin part, taking records of how many sales we make and money coming in and money coming out. So I think for us to get someone to do that, we'll be able to start to build O'Natural as a business.
The challenge oftentimes is that entrepreneurs tend to want to outsource at the very onset. It's good to outsource, but you need to understand it first.
At the moment, I'm very concerned about not having certain systems in the business, because then it doesn't show us as a business where we are lacking and where we are not lacking in terms of the growth of the business.
I've got 3 main suggestions for you going forward on how you can start moving it in the direction that you want. And I'll start with the point of admin, of finances, etc. I think the onus is on you as the business person to start with the groundwork. So yes, I do understand that you do need people to assist you with certain things, but for example, currently you don't keep a record of your finances, so you don't know what comes in and what goes out. So that already is a big red flag. And the way you can rectify that is quite simple. So be it every end of the day or you do it weekly, it's up to you, but you need to be recording a simple Excel sheet. What came in, what went out. So that's basic accounting. Another important area of significance that we need to talk about is how do you form partnerships and the significance of that? So I want you to just give me a brief of what you understand by these partnerships and the importance of image in what you are selling, because we said your business is not just about hair, you are selling image.
Yeah. So what I've been doing, which is something that we are working on, is that when I wear the wigs, I wear it with a statement earring. And people started asking me, where did you get that earring? Or maybe my lip color. Some even asked me about my lip color. So I thought maybe we should work together with the lady that does my earrings and make it easier for the client to get both products at the same time, and for them to be able to achieve the look of the wig and the earrings and the lip color. What we decided to do is to just make it one package, so that they don't have to go to her and then come to me, or come to me and go to her. They just get it as one package.
So the importance of identifying people who offer complementary things is what sets apart a person who's not a business person to one who is an entrepreneur. Another important thing that I think you need to really look into is, where do you see this business in the next year or so? You know, when you can clearly articulate where this business is going. So that it's up to you in terms of whether you're looking at geographical expansion where you have your wigs all over the country. Is it monetary? Is there a certain figure you need to be turning over per month to say, this is what growth means for me? But you need to define that for yourself. So when you think then for the presentation, for pitching for the 50,000, I'll give you a few pointers. So the importance of what you do in O'natural Wigs is that significance of an image. So yes, you sell wigs, but you are building an image. So you are actually selling something bigger than just wigs. So that needs to come out strongly, you know, that needs, and if you had to win the money and there was tangible difference in the business tomorrow, what would that be? You know, what would you use that money for? And those are two important things. And the last thing that you really need to understand is your numbers. You really need to understand your numbers, because it doesn't help that you buy material and you do all of this, but you don't know what your profit margins are. You know, you don't know your average spend on the synthetic hair and all of that stuff. So you need to demonstrate that you understand where you are using your money, so that if you get money, then we know that you know where you'd be using the money for.
My coaching session with Asanda was very informative. She told me a lot about what I need to do to be able to get the business going and remove it from being a hobby into being a business.
Have you identified premises? Have you done research around it? Have you come up with costs? I'm not understanding.
I've identified a space in Roodepoort, yes.
Okay, so give me the figures of that space. What is the deposit? Where is it located?
Sisiphindile unjani?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Hayi ngiphilile sisi wami. Uzophisha namhlanje usizwa kanjani?
I'm a bit nervous, but I'm confident. I know my stuff, so it should go well, I hope. Yes.
Yini into ekwenza ukuthi ube nervous kangaka?
I'm just standing in front of judges, I guess, but yeah, I'll get over it.
All the best.
Thank you.
Bakulindile sisi.
Welcome back to Making Moves. You look very nervous.
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, does that feel better?
Yes.
All right, cool. So you've got 4 minutes to pitch your business. You spoke to me yesterday. You had a coaching session with Asanda, so you should be feeling a lot stronger and you should be having a lot more focus to your business. And Martine's on my right. She's new to your business, so you're going to have to spend a hard time convincing her. You've got 4 minutes. Take your time, get through it, and your 4 minutes starts now.
Thank you. My name is Phindi Mtyingizane, and I own a company called O'natural Wigs, and we make natural looking wigs. What makes us unique is that we pay special details to the wigs that we make, and that enables our clients to come back for more wigs. And we're not only selling a wig and image, but we're only selling wigs together with other African brands to complement the wig. Now, what we are going to do with the 50,000 if we win it, the plan is to get admin to help us, because that's one of the points that my coach pointed out, that we need admin to help us with the processes, with bookkeeping, as well as contracts, basic contracts, so that when we employ someone, they're able to come in knowing very well what they're supposed to do. And another thing that we are going to do, we are going to get premises for mainly storage, and as well as production house, and it's also going to work as a walk-in shop, because one of the facts that my customers ask me is, where is a shop? I'd like to come in and fit the wigs. And what the premises are going to do, we'll be able to buy in stock as well with the 50,000, and be able to stock the synthetic hair in the premises. And with buying in bulk, it will enable us to mass produce, and mass producing will then enable us to get foot soldiers around South Africa, and they'll be able to distribute our wigs, which then means that we are all over South Africa and we can give them at cost price. Thank you.
Fantastic. I think that went relatively well. And high five. You did a fantastic coaching job. Okay. Yeah, you did. Clear and concise, and you've made progress since the last time we spoke. My first question is, 50 grand, I mean, is that going to cover everything you want to do? Premises, staff, mass producing? Geez, that's a lot.
It's a lot, yes, but I think with the premises, most importantly, is because for now we're working at a room in my house. So I feel if we are able to get premises, then we are able to mass produce and be able to store whatever it is that we've made, and together with the bulk in the premises, and it will also act as a walk-in salon. Because
so what's your total budget? So let's agree, you have staff as one, you have raw material as another, you've got premises, deposits, all that stuff that you've got to do. What's your total budget for everything that you want to do?
Well, the premises will probably cost me, from the research that I've done, will probably cost me 4.5, and I'm looking at hiring maybe a junior, just so we can get the company started, like get a structure.
Give me the total number.
I'm thinking around maybe 8,000 a month.
No. The total number for your plan. So you've got a plan, you want to execute it. What's the total budget? It's more than 50 grand.
Yes.
What's the total budget?
We haven't thought about that yet.
Okay. I think you're somewhere in the region of 150,000. Where are you going to get the rest?
We'll continue with our pop-ups and save money, because with pop-ups we do make a relevant amount of money. Then we'll be able to save that money and include it into the budget.
Okay, and where would these premises be?
In a very busy complex, I'm guessing, because we need the traffic that comes in. People who are not on social media, then they'll be able to come into the malls and be able to see our stuff.
Where?
Roodepoort, where I'm from.
Okay. Have you identified premises? Have you done research around it? Have you come up with costs? I'm not understanding.
I've identified a space in Roodepoort, yes.
Okay, so give me the figures of that space. What is the deposit? Where is it located?
The deposit is 4.5, the rent is 4.5, including electricity and water. It's in Roodepoort, close to where I stay in Rodekrans.
Okay.
Yes.
So, here. Mine's more of a comment than a question. You need to know your numbers when you're pitching for investment.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing that you don't know your numbers, because that will enable us to be able to make a decision and ask relevant questions as to where the money is going, what is the return, etc.
Okay, Asanda, anything?
I agree with Martine, and you have, congratulations, you have moved forward in terms of looking into areas you had not looked into. But I do think that without the numbers, it makes it very difficult for you to make an informed decision. So yes, you found one spot. Have you compared other places? You know, what are the ranges and why that particular spot? And what is required in terms of the bulk buying? Are you buying for 6 months? So you need to quantify that and put money to it so that you know how much you need, because there is a shortfall, and how you're going to get that shortfall. So I think that is a big area you need to be really harnessing on to get to where you need to go to.
Okay, we're going to take a few minutes, discuss your business, discuss your pitch, and then we'll call you back in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think my pitch went okay. There was a few ups and downs in terms of the numbers, but yeah, I think it went okay.
Okay, what do you think about her as an entrepreneur? Is she the right person to take this business to the next level?
I think over time she could be.
I like the fact of the foot soldiers. It'll work.
Let's call her back in. All right, deliberation time. Asanda, I'll start with you. What do you think?
I think there is a difference, yes, from the initial conversation, and that awareness is important, you know, just understanding that you're moving away from passion to now driving a business. So she does have that. I still think there's quite a lot of work that she needs to do, you know, the basics of business, organizing the admin, she's alluded to that bit, but that's very fundamental in getting her to where she wants to go. And I think she didn't spend time on talking about potential partnerships, you know, where it's complementary stuff that people do that we spend time on. So there's a whole lot of different avenues she could be exploring that I think could take her to where she needs to go.
Ipicha yakho ihamba kahle, bajabula ama-judges, but you did not get to the numbers. What happened?
It's one of the things that we are lacking on in terms of finance, getting someone to help us with the finance, because it was like it was a passion more than a business. So I'm here to learn more on how to make it a business. So numbers weren't really my thing, but I'm hoping I learn more.
Okay, what do you think about her as an entrepreneur? Is she the right person to take this business to the next level?
I think over time she could be.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with experience she could be. I think there's still a lot of tweaking that needs to happen, but not everyone starts out with strong characters and that kind of thing. But I think with the right kind of support, with the right kind of mentorship, she could get there. But the most important thing that I really admire in her is understanding that this is my area, I understand this part, I don't know anything about this other part, and I need someone to help me there.
That's very important.
So that's extremely
is
important.
critical.
Yeah.
Would you put in your own money? Which you've got?
At this point, I would need more convincing.
Judging from ipicha yakho nangendlela oyenze ngakhona, do you feel ukuthi you did enough research ukuyigcizelela and bring it home and help the judges understand ukuthi uyidingelani kangaka le mali?
Yeah, besides the numbers part, I feel I was able to explain to them why we need the money.
Yebo.
Martin?
Look, I understand a little bit of the market. It's a massive market. The demand is there. Her quality is definitely there. I mean, it's brilliant. And Rome is not built in a day. From what I'm understanding from you, Asanda, is that she's already grown leaps and bounds from both of you, I mean, in the discussion. Well, she's grown since yesterday, which tells me that she's teachable.
Yeah.
And apart from identifying where your areas of growth is, if you're teachable, the battle's half done. I back an entrepreneur like that because I know eventually we're going to reach the line. She's obviously the creative and the worker bee here, but that doesn't mean that there is not a business. I do like the business. She has identified the areas that are critical based on the paperwork that I've seen. Those are the critical areas, particularly the finance side of things. And I was very happy to see that she did put in, you know, the accounting, because at this point she's still cross-pollinating with personal and business in one little pot. I like the fact of the foot soldiers. It'll work. I know. I mean, that's just how this business works.
Let's call her back in.
Thank you.
All the best.
Phindi, welcome back.
Thank you.
How do you think you did?
Okay.
Okay. I think you had a good pitch.
Thank you.
I felt it was clear. I really do like the progress you've made since yesterday. I think that's phenomenal. And it shows that you're on the right track. So, I don't know, feedback in general?
From my end, great job. You did listen. We really pushed, and I'm really proud of you for doing that. Obviously, there's room for improvement, but I think you should be proud of yourself for what you've accomplished at this stage.
Thank you.
Martin?
Phindi, I didn't spend time with you yesterday, but from the comments on the fellow judges and from what I can see, you've moved, and what's evident for me in that is that you have a teachable spirit. And what's more evident for me based on your paperwork is that you've identified the areas of growth and you know, the areas that you need to focus on quite a bit, particularly in the areas of finance. And a lot of entrepreneurs, it's a critical area for you, because I have had a look at your paperwork, and it's quite evident that you are you know, doing some personal things in your business environment, and that's detrimental to your business, and not a good reflection when you are when you're asking for investment, and when you're going to pitch your business to people and they ask your financials, because we do look at those things. I can tell you, we pay very close attention, and mostly we pay attention to the littler things on your bank statements, etc., because that tells us habitually, and you know, from a discipline perspective, how you make decisions, etc. So I'm very, very grateful to see that you've placed big emphasis on the fact that you're needing to formalize that area within your business, and I can guarantee you it's only going to assist you in leaps and bounds. Thank you.
Okay, so Phindi, what we typically do now is each judge gives you a task, something that we think you need to do in your business in order to take it forward and get it to the next level. So I'll start with myself. I'm a bit conflicted as to which task I think is most important. I urge you to get a coach. You need to get a coach. You need to get a coach who will help you develop as an entrepreneur, help you develop as a person, and help you just get better. And I'm not sure kind of where you'll find someone. You know, you do sell hair to some very interesting people, so that could be an area where you could barter your skill for their skill and maybe get some coaching. But I find that it's very helpful to have people that you can speak to, even if it's just one person at this point with experience who you respect, that you can bounce stuff off, and somebody that will challenge you, and somebody that you can be accountable to say, Marino, last month we spoke about A, B, C, and D. Why is it not done? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. Asanda, any tasks?
I'd like you to delve into the areas you had identified in your pitch. So you spoke of 3 key areas. The assumption is you chose those 3 because they are the most important for the business at this point. So go into them, zoom into them, and really break down what it entails. For example, that rent, finding premises. why that particular area, find top 3 areas that you would be considering and the rates and that kind of thing, and then start quantifying those as well. So just get the business side of it with the finances to match, so you're able to plan for what you need to do next.
Marty?
Yeah, I'd like you to go and approach an accounting firm, whether it be someone close to you, you might know someone already, and there are quite a few accounting firms that have, that are assisting entrepreneurs on a pro bono basis, because, they need to get their BE scoring up, and it forms part of a learnership, etc. Go and research some of those companies and go and chat to them about doing the financial analysis of your business and understand your numbers. But I'm asking you to do it. I don't want you just to hand over everything to them. I want you to ask them to take even if it takes 1 or 2 sessions, just to sit with you to understand the basic things that you need to understand, because that'll inform the decisions that you're going to make in terms of, can I afford the rental that I'm going into? What is my growth strategy? Where am I going with this business? How soon am I going to be able to move into premises? So the plan needs to be there.
So this is the moment of truth about whether you move forward or not. I'm going to deliver the news. Unfortunately, you don't move forward. And the reason is, we've got a hard time buying into the plan without numbers. You have to quantify. So when you say, "Ke batla ho reka stock," so I can bulk buy, you haven't said, this is how much stock I want to buy, this is how much it's going to cost, this is the number of wigs it's going to produce, and therefore if I sell this number of wigs in this amount of time, I'm going to make that money back in 3 months or in 6 months. So we can't, it's very difficult to say, the plan makes sense, but we can't attach any numbers to it. We don't know how much your raw material costs, all of those kinds of things. So that's the issue, is that you haven't given us enough numbers detail to know if the plan makes sense or not. But please do the things that we're asking you to do. Go think about it, go implement, and I trust me, your business will fly.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Going into the business now, what I'm going to do differently is I'm going to implement what the judges suggested I do to get the company going properly, because it was more of a hobby than a business. So now they've told me what I need to do to be able to go forward.
If you are an entrepreneur and would like to be featured on the show, contact us on makingmoves@sabc.co.za or visit our website.